Hello, my friend. I'm Mark, and for many years I've dedicated my time to studying healthy aging and the scientific discoveries that may help people maintain their quality of life as they grow older. Recently, I came across a question that completely changed the way I think about oral health after the age of 60. For years, I believed oral health was one of the simplest parts of staying healthy. Brush your teeth every day, floss regularly, visit your dentist. Follow the advice we've all heard since childhood. If you do those things consistently, your teeth and gums should remain healthy for life. At least that's what most of us have been led to believe. But recently, I came across a question that completely changed the way I think about oral health after the age of 60. Why do so many older adults continue following all the traditional recommendations, yet still experience worsening oral health? Millions of people brush carefully every morning and every night. They floss. They use mouthwash. They attend regular dental appointments, and yet many of them find themselves facing increasingly sensitive gums, recurring bad breath, oral discomfort, and a growing sense that their mouth simply doesn't feel the way it used to. Some begin to notice that their gums seem more fragile than they were a few years ago. Others become frustrated because bad breath keeps returning, despite careful brushing, mouthwash, and regular dental care. And many start wondering why maintaining healthy gums and fresh breath suddenly feels more difficult than it did in the past. At first glance, it doesn't make sense. If they're doing everything right, why do these problems keep appearing? The more I investigated this question, the more I realized there may be something important that many people have never been told. Something that goes far beyond brushing and flossing. Something hidden inside the mouth itself. Most people think oral health is primarily about removing food particles, cleaning teeth, and eliminating bacteria. For decades, that has been the dominant message. Get rid of plaque, remove harmful bacteria, keep everything clean. And while those practices remain incredibly important, researchers have increasingly discovered that there may be another piece of the puzzle, one that often receives far less attention. The role of beneficial bacteria. That realization surprised me, because when most people hear the word bacteria, they immediately think of something harmful. But the truth is much more fascinating. Your mouth contains an entire ecosystem made up of billions of microorganisms. Some of these microorganisms are associated with oral problems. Others appear to play important roles in helping maintain balance throughout the oral environment. For much of life, these microbial communities coexist in a relatively stable state. But aging changes many systems throughout the body, and researchers have observed that the oral microbiome, the collection of microorganisms living inside the mouth, can also change over time. The shift is often gradual. It doesn't happen overnight. In many cases, people may spend years trying to address symptoms without fully understanding what could be contributing to them. As I dug deeper into the science, I began noticing a pattern. Many of the complaints commonly reported by older adults seemed connected by a similar theme. Sensitive gums, recurring bad breath, a feeling that oral health has become increasingly difficult to maintain, persistent discomfort despite excellent hygiene habits. What if these symptoms aren't always caused simply by the presence of unwanted bacteria? What if part of the problem is the gradual loss of beneficial bacteria that help support a healthier oral environment? Suddenly, the picture becomes much clearer. The issue may not always be about having too many undesirable microorganisms. Sometimes, it may also involve having fewer beneficial ones, and that distinction changes everything. Because if someone focuses exclusively on cleaning the mouth without considering microbial balance, they may be overlooking an important part of the equation. Think about it this way. If a garden begins to lose the plants that help keep the soil healthy, removing weeds alone may not be enough to restore balance. The same principle may apply inside the mouth. For years, most oral health products have focused almost entirely on removing bacteria. But modern research is encouraging scientists to ask a different question. What happens when the beneficial bacteria begin to decline? And more importantly, what can be done to support them? This is one reason many people have started exploring ways to support the balance of beneficial oral bacteria rather than focusing solely on surface-level cleaning. Researchers have become increasingly interested in approaches that help maintain a healthier oral microbiome, particularly among older adults who are experiencing changes in gum comfort, breath freshness, and overall oral wellness. In fact, One of the most interesting developments in this area involves oral probiotics. Beneficial bacteria specifically selected to help support microbial balance inside the mouth. Rather than focusing exclusively on eliminating bacteria, this newer approach focuses on helping support the beneficial microorganisms that contribute to a healthier oral environment. This is precisely why so many people are beginning to look beyond toothpaste, mouthwash, and traditional oral care products alone. They are starting to ask whether supporting beneficial bacteria may be just as important as removing unwanted ones. In fact, there is a specific solution designed around this modern approach to oral health. For those interested in learning more, we've placed additional information in the first link in the description. Be sure to take a look. The deeper I explored this topic, the more interesting the story became. Researchers studying the oral microbiome have increasingly focused on understanding how beneficial microorganisms interact with the rest of the oral environment. Rather than viewing oral health as a simple battle between good hygiene and bad hygiene, scientists now recognize that the mouth functions more like a living ecosystem. And every ecosystem depends on balance. When balance is maintained, the environment tends to be more stable. When balance is disrupted, challenges may become more likely to emerge. This newer perspective is helping experts better understand why some individuals continue experiencing oral concerns, even while following traditional recommendations. Brushing remains important. Flossing remains important. Professional dental care remains important. But oral health may involve much more than simply removing debris and killing bacteria. It may also involve supporting the microorganisms that contribute to maintaining equilibrium inside the mouth. And this is where the story becomes truly fascinating. The modern understanding of oral health is no longer based solely on eliminating microorganisms. Increasingly, researchers are investigating how preserving and supporting beneficial bacteria may influence long-term oral wellness. In other words, supporting good bacteria may be just as important as reducing unwanted bacteria. For many people over 60, this idea is a revelation. It helps explain why traditional approaches sometimes feel incomplete. It provides a possible explanation for symptoms that seem resistant to ordinary solutions. And perhaps most importantly, it offers a more hopeful way of understanding oral health during aging. When many people hear this information for the first time, they finally understand why they have been feeling frustrated. They realize the issue may not be that they have been neglecting their oral health. It may simply be that they have been focusing on only one part of the picture. Cleaning matters, but balance matters too. And as researchers continue uncovering more information about the oral microbiome, that balance is becoming an increasingly important part of the conversation. Many older adults spend years worrying about recurring bad breath. Others become concerned when their gums seem more sensitive than they used to be. Some begin avoiding close conversations because they lack confidence in their breath. Others smile less frequently because they feel self-conscious about changes occurring inside their mouths. For many people, the concern goes beyond oral health itself. Fresh breath, healthy gums, and the confidence to smile comfortably can have a powerful impact on social interactions, relationships, and overall quality of life. These concerns can have a profound effect on quality of life, but understanding the potential role of the oral microbiome opens the door to a completely different conversation. A conversation focused not only on cleaning, but also on balance. A conversation that recognizes that supporting beneficial bacteria may help create a healthier environment inside the mouth. And for many people, that shift in perspective changes everything. For those who would like to better understand how beneficial bacteria may influence gum health, breath freshness, and overall oral wellness, there is a detailed explanation available in the pinned comment below that explores this approach further. Many viewers are surprised to learn that supporting beneficial bacteria has become one of the most discussed topics in modern oral health research. And that's exactly why so much attention is now being directed towards solutions that help support microbial balance rather than focusing exclusively on eliminating bacteria. What makes this topic especially exciting is that scientific understanding continues to evolve. Every year, researchers uncover new insights about the relationship between microbial balance and oral health. Studies have observed that diverse and balanced oral microbial communities are associated with healthier oral environments and may play important roles in maintaining gum comfort, fresher breath, and overall oral stability. Researchers continue investigating how beneficial bacteria interact with the oral environment and how these microbial communities may influence long-term oral wellness. While no single approach can stop aging, growing scientific knowledge is helping people make more informed decisions about supporting their oral health as they get older. And perhaps that's the most encouraging discovery of all. Getting older does not automatically mean accepting declining oral health as inevitable. It doesn't mean resigning yourself to recurring discomfort, persistent bad breath, sensitive gums, or growing insecurity. Instead, it means understanding the factors that may be changing beneath the surface and learning how to support them more effectively. For decades, the conversation around oral health focused almost entirely on what needed to be removed. Today, researchers are increasingly interested in what may need to be supported as well. That includes the beneficial bacteria that naturally live inside the mouth and contribute to maintaining balance throughout the oral environment. The science surrounding beneficial oral bacteria is revealing a powerful truth. A healthy mouth may depend on more than simply removing harmful microbes. It may also depend on protecting and supporting the beneficial microorganisms that help maintain balance every single day. This is one reason why oral probiotics have attracted growing attention among researchers and health-conscious adults. Rather than focusing solely on cleaning the surface of the teeth, these approaches are designed to help support the beneficial bacteria that naturally contribute to a healthier oral environment. For many people over 60, this represents an entirely new way of thinking about oral health. Not just fighting problems, but helping support the conditions that may contribute to healthier gums, fresher breath, and greater oral confidence. As researchers continue studying the oral microbiome, the evidence keeps pointing toward the same conclusion. Oral health is not just about cleanliness, it's about balance. And for many adults over 60, understanding that difference may be one of the most important discoveries they ever make. If you'd like to learn more about the specific approach we've discussed today and how it may help support beneficial oral bacteria, healthy gums, and a balanced oral microbiome, be sure to check the information we've placed in the first link in the description and in the pinned comment below. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me today. I hope this information has given you a new perspective on what may be happening inside the mouth as we age, and why supporting beneficial bacteria has become such an important topic in modern oral health research. If you found this information valuable, subscribe to the channel and join our community. Every week I share new research, practical discoveries, and simple strategies that may help support healthy aging naturally. This is Mark wishing you strong health, greater confidence, fresher breath, healthier gums, and many more years of smiling comfortably. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.